To make the presentation to our 7th inductee, please welcome to the stage two of the iconic awesome foursome rowers, Mike Mackay, OAM, and Nick Green, OAM. Our next inductee is one of our most internationally decorated athletes.
The Awesome Foursome. It's one of Australian sport's most iconic nicknames. Drew Ginn joined the famous crew in 1995, teaming with Mike Mackay, James Tompkins and Nick Green for gold at the 1996 Olympic Games.
Yes, go to Australia! Go!
Success in Atlanta launched Ginn's Olympic career, and he became one of Australia's most decorated athletes in any sport. Ginn and Tompkins would have been favourites for the coxless pairs at Sydney 2000, but Ginn missed the Games with a back injury. 4 years later in Athens, Ginn and Tompkins won Olympic gold in the pairs.
Gold for Australia! Fantastic row! A new legend has begun.
In 2008, Ginn paired with Duncan Free, but Drew suffered another back injury during the heats. He rode in the Beijing final in agony, producing one of the most courageous performances in Australian Olympic history.
And 3 Olympics, 3 gold medals for Drew Ginn.
At London in 2012, Drew rode in the coxless 4 for a silver medal, rounding off an Olympic career which yielded 3 golds and a silver from 4 games. Drew rode at 8 World Championships, winning the coxed 4 in 1998 and the coxless pair in 1999, 2003, 2006 and 2007. And he won medals in pairs, 4s and the 8. Drew retired after the London Olympics and became only the 4th Australian to be awarded the highest honour in international rowing, the Thomas Keller Medal. Celebrating an outstanding career, Drew Ginn, OAM, is inducted into the Sport Australia Hall of Fame as an athlete member for the sport of rowing.
Please welcome to the Sport Australia Hall of Fame, Drew Ginn. They're so quick to get off the stage. Go back and have a photo. You didn't capture the moment. Sorry, I'm being bossy for a second. You need to capture the moment. And then give them another round of applause, please. Too busy hugging each other, forgetting to have a photo. Drew, congratulations. We just saw your highlights reel, an amazing career, but I believe we've got academia to thank. Your math teacher got you involved in rowing, is that true?
Yes, Bram McLeod was his name. He persisted for about a term and a half, and I kept on saying that I wasn't interested in going down to the boat sheds. I was swimming at the time. He eventually grabbed me into class one day and he sort of said, "No, come on down, let's put you in a boat." And simple thing, you ever, when you're 16, listen to instructions? Not a chance. He told me, whatever happens, put your 2 oar handles together, you'll be safe. And within 5 minutes, I was swimming.
Well, it did eventually work, because by 21 years of age, you were thrown into the most iconic sporting partnership going around, and that was the Awesome Foursome. It was the Atlanta Games. Tell me about the experience of being thrown into the boat with those guys and winning the gold medal in 1996.
Well, I thought for a moment that the guys were going to stay here and just heckle behind me, because that's what used to happen all the time at events like this. How do I describe it? So, you know, you're 20, 21 years of age. I'd watched the Barcelona Olympic Games, and Noel Donaldson's down the back there as well, with the Awesome Foursome with Andrew Cooper, Nick, James and Mike, and watched it as a school kid down the Yarra at the Mercantile Rowing Club, and saw them win gold. And I think, like every little kid, you watch the Olympic Games and you dream, you aspire, but you don't really believe you're ever going to get there. And so to have 4 years later the chance to sit in the boat, and I actually remember vividly one of the first times, Mike sitting in front of me and having the 4 take off in a long distance time trial, and they just took off flat out. And this was a 5K time trial, and so for me, I was the young kid. I was fortunate. I felt really lucky, and I got to sit in the bow seat. And the benefit of the bow seat, by the way, if no one knows rowing in the room, first across the finish line, so I got to celebrate moments for everyone else.
Nice. I hear you're a bit yappy in the boat, though. Is that
I
true?
can talk in the boat,
Okay.
yes, Nick. I can talk
But
in
in
the boat.
1996 in particular, did James get a bit anxious or antsy with you? Not like James to be antsy with anybody, but you were trying to give him the synopsis of the race, how it was going to work?
Yeah, I think it went like Italy, Romania half-length up, France, Great Britain half-length down, and James turns around and says, "Shut up!" And that was halfway in the race, so we've done 3 minutes. But the amazing thing was, everything in 96 with those guys, the plan just worked so perfectly, you know. So I think the thing for me as a young athlete, and I think even here from a lot of the other inductees tonight, it's how you get set off on your trajectory as a young athlete, and it's the people you're with. And so the Awesome Foursome gave me a huge start, and Noel and all the guys, and that experience was unbelievable. Nothing quite like doing a fruit commercial either, by the way.
Yeah, no, singing on national TV and those outfits. Drew, it wasn't smooth sailing or rowing though, because in the latter part of your career, your back really played up, didn't it? And you had to work immensely hard to get on the water with Duncan. Talk to us about how hard that was.
Yeah, so Chris O'Brien here, my coach as well, and my wife Melanie. So there were only a few people that really knew, and I ruptured my disc in my back in the heat row, and because I'd had that happen in Sydney and had surgery after Sydney, I knew what that felt like, and it was one of those weird things. I don't think I can ever fully appreciate what you go through, but the thought of my kids was a massive motivator for two reasons. One is I didn't want to stuff up my back for the rest of my life, but the other part was I wasn't going to give up easily either. And I remember handing a photo to Chris O'Brien to put onto the boat, just my two little kids, and Dunks knew about it, and basically it was just really emotional. And to get through that race was extraordinary, because the first 500 or 600 metres felt normal. Actually, the hardest part was actually sitting down in the boat. That was the most painful. But once the race was happening and it was all going on, it almost like autopilot. And with about 400 metres to go, I could feel my right leg going floppy. And in the footage that most people that know rowing would sort of see is that I'm hardly pulling any weight on the blade at all. And Dunks is steering like mad to start with the boys, and we can see the Canadians coming at us. And I remember just sort of sitting there thinking, hang on, Drew, just get to the finish line. I laid down, I couldn't get back up straight away, so it was pretty painful.
Well, it paid off. It was a gold medal in that particular race and an outstanding career. You're still giving back to athletes and to the rowing community. Drew Ginn, congratulations on being inducted into the Sporting Hall of Fame. Well done.